This is part one of a two-part show. Be sure to check out part two when you're done.
Our Cynic Culture.
Welcome to Our Cynic Culture, where we go out of our way to find hard-to-get items and we review them and tell you whether they're overrated or not. I'm Matt.
Jason. The Doctor.
Dr. Fabulous. And
Today we're doing remote controls. You can't find... Oh, this one.
today we're not doing remote controls. Last time we did some cookies from
My Cookie Dealer.
My Cookie Dealer in New
I
York.
Go for a cookie right now.
I would like that. We had that last
Why
one.
are there no snacks?
We had the last cookie the other
Why
night.
are there no snacks?
I might still have like some in my
We
fridge.
have no snacks on the table.
We have beer.
Yeah.
not
Well,
snacks.
what you may not realize is that all three of us actually kind of have our pedigree in beer, more or less. We're all kind of beer nerds, so chances are we're going to have more than one episode about a hard-to-get beer. But today we got a few things. Jason has helped us procure a, what is this?
That is a Barrel-Aged Ambiente from Shared slash a side project. So kind of like a barrel-aged Abraxas. Instead of Perennial, it's Shared.
Yeah, and Abraxas is from a brewery called Perennial, and it's kind of a Mexican cake chocolate kind of like profile. It's a imperial stout with chocolate, some sort of hot pepper, like cinnamon, and
sometimes vanilla, sometimes not.
like
Yeah.
that. What is this? What is
Lots
this
of
one?
love.
So actually on that one, I took some notes on this one. So it's a blend, but it's got cocoa nibs, Madagascar vanilla beans, cinnamon, and ancho chilies.
Okay.
But based on the side project stuff, this is a blend of theirs. So Derivation 3, OWK, and then the Vibes.
And these are all beers from
Side Project.
a brewery in St. Louis, and also Shared. So Perennial has been around for a long time. They're a regional brewer out of St. Louis, and then he was head brewer over there. First,
So head brewer there when they first started. Corey King. So they had already started Perennial. He saw it online, actually applied for it that way. Got over there, started doing his own thing, and while he was there, he wanted to work on something as a side project.
Yeah.
So they let him, and he had his own thing, had his barrel store there and stuff. Then he started side project from there.
Yeah.
And now Shared is kind of him returning the favor.
Which is funny because the beer is very creative and good, but the name is extremely uncreative. But it's still
He did invent also waiting in line a long time for a beer.
yeah. So a lot of these beer nerds lining up around the block to get side projects.
Unless you get the invite only Lacoterie, I don't know how you say it, but if you're in their membership, there's no lines. That's
Over
actually
side
what it
projects.
says. Yeah.
If you're no line membership.
Invite only. I don't even know how
An extra
to.
$100?
I think it's actually a zero cost membership. They just let you get access to buy everything without being in lines.
Can you use the bathrooms?
Outhouse. Yeah.
Just pee along the street.
Yeah.
On the side.
Or you can
There's
get like a
there's one
Gatorade
wall.
jug. You can get a Gatorade jug and just take it with you.
Yeah. There's one wall designated just for peeing on.
Yeah.
So he branches off. He's not at Perennial anymore.
But he's still affiliated with them, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. So he's doing side project beer now, and the Shared is actually affiliated with Side Project.
Yep.
In what way?
So it's the side project of side project.
That's exactly
kind
what
of,
it is.
yeah, right.
But now
it's
they need a side project of share.
So it's two. I think it's two of their brewers plus Corey. So two of Side Project's brewers and Corey King. They're into Shared together. But the way he set it up, so if those brewers come up with this, if this is their beer, which I don't know if it is or not, their idea, it's their property.
Yeah.
So if they leave and start their own label, they can take that with them. He won't hold them up. So I think it's more of just like a feeder program. It's kind of way, you know.
I heard the side project of Shared is called "You'll Get Nothing and Like It."
That's not even.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's what I heard.
Good try.
I think you're wrong.
Good try.
And I'd like to pour some of this beer, but we already have beer. So
Yeah.
should I get like another glass?
So we talked about this beer for a long time, but let's
talk about
wait
what
20
else
minutes before we
I
get
know.
to it.
It's healthy for you to smoke.
It is?
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't like
Actually, I heard the
60s.
opposite.
Yeah. No, you don't know. Are you a doctor?
I am a doctor.
Shit. Well, you might.
I'm a doctor, and I'm telling you, it's healthy to smoke. That's why I smoke Marlboro Reds when I want that taste of a man. Marlboro Reds.
Taste of a man. I heard that about you. You prefer the taste of a man.
Marlboro Red.
What's your
taste of a man?
What's your preferred man taste?
Marlboro Red.
Marlboro Red.
Or Big Red, as they call it.
Yeah. I met that guy. Yeah.
They call it the Big Red.
Yeah.
So this one's Antique Coco from J. Wakefield, collab with Three Chiefs out of California. So
Jay Wakefield out of Tampa, Florida.
Well, Miami.
Miami.
He was affiliated with Cigar
Represent.
City before. So
Represent Miami. I forgot the area code, but I would say it. Was it 305? I can't remember.
Sure. So this is coconut.
Obviously, you're very vested in Miami.
It's been a long time, Miami. I'm sorry.
So this is coconut on top of coconut on top of some more coconut candy that was aged in Weller antique barrels.
This is going to be bitter.
So there you go.
This beer is bitter.
I don't think it's going to be bitter.
This beer is hard to get.
Yep, 17% barrel-aged stout. So I think this one was only released their festival. So he does Wakefest every year. So this was one of them. He did Bake. There's like 4 different variations of that one. He did the Antique Coco, Antique Blue, and one other antique.
Okay.
So the antique name comes from the barrel it was aged in.
Which is
Weller Antique.
Weller Antique, okay.
Yep.
And we got something a little bit stronger over here.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Dick in a
So
box.
we got a Master's Keep 17-year-old Heaven Hill, or not Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey. I do like Heaven Hill.
Evan Hill, if you're watching,
Let's try that again.
Yeah, we'll help you out. But so the first bottled in bond iteration from the Master's Keep series. So a 17-year-old 100 proof bourbon.
Wow.
And I like Wild Turkey. So I'm ready to try this.
It's a fancy box.
It's a fancy box and a nice bottle.
It's not a wood box, though.
No,
It comes
it's
in wood.
kind of.
I'll be honest, it comes in wood.
It's like 4-ply cardboard.
With
Yeah.
glass, wood and glass and diamonds and rubies.
So what's the story behind this bottle?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Well, the master decided to keep it.
Is there anything that makes this?
So Master's Keep is going to be from Jimmy and Eddie Russell. So the master distillers, palates second to none in kind of the bourbon industry, I guess. I mean, everybody tells you they're the best,
Right.
But they know what's up. So from them, they do a series of this. I think there's probably, I don't know, roughly 8 or 10 of these out there. Different ones. It might be rye, it might be whatever. But this one, so the bottle that was discontinued, 2 years ago? Heaven Hill had that bottled in bond 6-year-old bourbon.
Yeah.
So this is a Wild Turkey, like almost a 101 from there. So it's 100 proof and it's 17 years old.
Okay.
So still in that bottled in bond kind of phase or a little hype, I guess. You know.
Right now.
November 10th, and we're coming back November 15th, so about a month away.
So we're going to spend 10 days in Denver.
I know. The 10th through the 15th will be 5 days.
Spend 5 days in Denver.
5 days in Denver. Math is still not your strong suit.
I think you have you don't understand portion sizes.
There's big and there's small and there's medium and
I think everything is just small or extra medium to you.
What are you talking about?
when you ordered food for us in Nashville and you bought 2
Wait.
things of Chinese food.
Yep.
And there was 12 of us.
He probably got enough for us 3 here.
First of all,
It's been
I
close.
wanted to go out and eat. Nobody wanted to go out and eat. That was a huge mistake. And I don't remember how much I ordered because we had been at a festival all day and there had been some brownie consumption and beer consumption.
You ordered 1 order of pad thai and 3 spring rolls.
That's not true.
For 12
I think
guys.
he had a side of rice. That's
Yeah.
not for sure.
I'm not even sure. I don't even think there was.
There were probably 5 dishes.
There was.
rolls.
I think at the very most there were 3.
I think there were 5.
No,
And how many people?
no.
There was 12 people.
There was
No,
like
first of all, Jacob was sleeping.
he got a nice.
You're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to
He could
eat.
eat, but he
if
was
you sleep.
sleeping. Jordan had wandered off somewhere. Jason was passed out.
So you
Jason
did a
was
mental
not bad.
calculation
Jason was
of
ready
who was
to
going to
eat.
eat and who was not going to eat, and you prioritized based on what you felt like we could eat.
I'm pretty sure I ordered 5.
He was just trying to help us lose some weight. That's all. Wasn't
that
he
what
drinking
it-
beer all day?
It wouldn't hurt.
I see how it is. I see how it is.
Well, you were obviously very wrong. 'cause
Honestly,
we were all grateful. We ordered more food immediately after we.
We weren't.
I don't
We weren't
remember.
all grateful.
I don't remember any of this, to be honest.
I believe that.
I
Actually,
believe that too.
I do believe
Yeah.
that.
So one of the nice things about side projects when they do their nice waxed bottles, they always put that little pull tab on there,
Yeah.
so you don't actually have to use a knife to get in there.
Now, doesn't this double as an authenticity seal?
Actually, so not really. They had a case not too long ago. I think it was Beer Barrel Time Batch 3.
Okay.
They had some counterfeited bottles. So a dude,
That's right.
he was working at a brewery somewhere. I don't remember the brewery, but I wouldn't say it if I did. But anyway, he was actually buying the empty bottles, refilling them, putting this back on there, and letting it go. Now, people were getting them. They looked pretty janky,
Yeah.
but that's what caught them up. So now Corey and them, they got very upset with it, which I get. glad they did. But they have a seal now. It's on the newest BBT rye. So it's like a holographic seal that goes over top of the wax. So
Man,
you
it'd be really
can't-
nice if we could do a show on that BBT.
You know, maybe one day if we could buy one of
We're
those.
just so lucky.
The secondary is like $700 though. So
Yeah, we'll see.
I can't.
I guess I'm just kind of concerned that this pull tab is ruining beer nerds' knife skills. Like,
Yeah.
they're no longer going to have really good knife skills because they're going to just be pulling the tab off, and that's really going to ruin a lot for.
Like the whole sabering industry.
Yeah, I think
is-
like beer nerds, they're going to be poorer at the knife
Yeah.
without that experience.
You
of,
get small
cutting off the
pour.
wax.
Almost said somebody's name there. But I shan't.
Ouch. Ambiente. That sounds Italian. Is that Italian for ambience
Yeah.
or beer? Ambiente. Chiedo solo cortesia ragazzi lei sogno.
I'll get some like rocks glasses or something for whiskey later too.
So first off, it's a little cold,
Looks good though.
but wow, is it lacing the glass?
Looks like it has a good body.
Well, I mean, side project. So I don't think you'd use thin to describe their stouts.
Does it have cinnamon in it?
Yes, it does have cinnamon.
It tastes cinnamon.
So this is like, I mean, this is Barrel-Aged Abraxas is what it tastes like. Anybody that's had that, that's what this is. And honestly, this is better than Barrel-Aged Abraxas this year. I've had this year's at Perennial. Not as good as years past.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's a really nice beer.
So I know we kind of have like a whole our motif is
Is it worth it?
it is really worth it. What? Okay, are we allowed to talk about like what we paid to get these?
Sure, I don't see why not.
I know sometimes
the
depending
FCC
Has been
don't
watching me.
care about me.
on watching you. I know with
Is it a $30 bottle?
So with the Barrel-Aged Ambiente, what Side Project's been doing with Shared too is kind of packaging their deals. So when this goes online, when this went online for sale, it came with beer dupes, like a saison, and then a grisette.
is it fair to say that they're more or less just trying to sell volume because they know you want this beer?
Well, I think what it is they don't have any in-person sales right now, so they don't have like any of their venues open. They don't have the cellar or the main Side Project open. So yeah, they're bundling beers. I think pretty much all the bundles have had beer dupes attached to it.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they have a ton of that.
And that's a volume beer, so they're more or less trying to.
So-
and I get it; it's
yeah.
smart from a business.
It also
but
included
nobody
Rasp,
complains.
which is like the raspberry 375 sour
Yeah.
they did, which is very, very tart. But so combined 3 bottles plus this, I think it was 110.
Right.
So
But this is really what you're paying for.
yeah. What's the cost of this?
That's about 70 a bottle.
Yeah, that's actually 70 a bottle. Yeah. So I would say if you broke this down, that beer's probably $40. That's my guess.
Retail.
Retail. I think
Now
retail.
secondary
So-
it's 42.
Yeah.
And this is the issue with these beers is that there's a secondary market that comes
Sure.
into play because you can't get this unless you like are really quick, right? Was this the one where you had to like buzz in really fast on the website?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So they do the release online, and you have to have a web page pulled up, and this beer will probably sell out in what 30 seconds, 10 seconds,
yeah, under a minute for sure.
Yeah. And if you're not quick on the draw and you don't buy it, then you're SOL. And they probably made how many bottles of this beer?
Oh wow, not many.
Like 100?
I mean, I think on the check-ins I saw there were 91 check-ins so far.
Okay.
But don't.
But
That's
some people
using
might be
untapped.
sharing. They might be sharing beers.
Exactly. So it's not 1-to-1. So I would say 3 people at least.
But that's
per
also
bottle
to
check-in.
say there's how many have not been opened yet. So we'll say what between like 100, 150, something like that
It's my guess.
ish.
Yeah.
And that was the only way you can get it, unless they do another release. As of now, you had 30 seconds, a minute to buy the beer, and if you didn't, you basically have to find one from somebody on the black
Secondary market, yeah.
And on the secondary market, what does something like this go for?
This one's about probably $240.
$240.
$240.
Okay.
That's a lot of money for a beer.
So for the average person, if you want to get this beer, you're looking at.
Yep.
How'd you get it?
I actually was very fast. So Instagram.
quick?
So Instagram notifications, they
thing
pop
right
through. Actually, it's my thumb.
Oh, this
And it was Apple Pay on my iPhone.
Really?
Boom, all the way through.
Really?
Damn,
Okay.
son.
Oh, does it like auto-populate like all your-
Everything.
like,
Yeah. all
You
your
gotta get that
info.
auto-populate going, because if you're sitting there typing in your address, you're out of business.
So most of my beer group was going after this one too. My online beer group. Only one other person got it. So
Really?
I feel very lucky.
Well, I feel lucky you shared this.
Yeah, well, thank
sir.
you. I didn't want to share it with you, but Matt kind of
Well,
made me.
I know. I
somehow
was
we ended
actually
up
just
here.
hanging out outside, looking at the lawn when the door opened. Then I just walked in.
It's a nice lawn. The door open, you're like, I'm in!
Woo, open it.
Now that I'm here!
How's it going, everybody?
So for retail, I'd say 110% it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
For secondary, 240, 250.
I mean, I think you have to figure
I don't
out.
think any beer is worth 240.
I agree. I mean, secondary is very tricky because what do you compare it to? What beer can you think of that has had a secondary of 240? Honestly, nothing really comes to mind.
Yeah.
If you compare this to Barrel-Aged Abraxas has ran secondary from $100 this year, which is a down year for most people's reviews, to probably $350 in years past.
Yeah.
So if you kind of average it out, Barrel-Aged Abraxas probably 240.
Yeah.
This one's 240. Which one you want?
Yeah. I think this it's a little more spicy, I feel like.
I agree with that little back end heat.
Yeah.
But I think the body's there for sure. It actually might be a little bigger body than Abraxas.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much cinnamon as Abraxas, but more pepper.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for how much we are getting here too, like I would say if you get a group of 6 dudes,
Sure.
which I know is your ideal scenario, is to be
Hell yeah,
6
baby.
dudes, and then they all just say split it.
$20.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that math check out, Jeff?
Let's see. What we do?
Help
6
us.
times 20.
Yep.
What was that?
Or maybe $140 per person.
317.
Yeah, about $317 each.
Something like that. I think I would do it that way because then everybody will get a little bit. Because I'm drinking this now, and like,
just dumb it
I could sip on this for the next hour.
You can dumb it by yourself on a Friday night when you're crying over how wrong everything is in life. But that's
how we need to. I think that's how we need to end the episode with Jeff just like finishing it
Just
off.
pouring it down, just crying.
Just like rolling down his like. He's gonna turn all his gray hairs black.
This is a really good beer. Carb fades pretty fast.
I agree with that, but I think in a big barrel-aged style, like I don't even care if there's carbs at all.
With a
Well, it
like
doesn't
this.
bother. In this case, it doesn't bother me because it's got so much chocolate in it and so rich. It's really rich. This beer is rich.
Chocolate's not my first descriptor in this
Jeff,
one.
you think this beer's rich?
I get a lot of cinnamon.
How much is it worth if it's rich?
What did we say? $60?
$60 times 2, so $500.
$500.
Yeah.
If anybody needs any help with
Would
their
you
kids
trade-
for math when they're working from home,
Would you trade a
Jeff's
Switch for
available.
this
If you want to be dumber, go to Jeff.
Yeah.
Trade a switch for this beer?
Good story, yeah. We won't talk about that because I don't want to get banned from buying side project beers. So the first time BBT came out, so speaking of secondary, we had a BBT lottery or online sale.
BBT stands for
Beer Barrel Time.
Barrel
So no adjuncts, just barrels. They've blended.
it's just a stout in a barrel.
Yeah, and it's
Barrel-aged stout.
amazing. If you've never had it, it's probably one of, if not the best. So I went on site, bought the bottle up there. I got it online. Went up there for the release and had it a couple times that weekend. And then I saw a trade posted online. Somebody had a Nintendo Switch with controllers and game for a BBT. So. Merry Christmas to my son because I traded that thing right away. Yeah, it was a great beer, but when you start looking at stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know,
What,
it is what it is.
And that was back when like you could.
It's been 3-4 years ago.
Was that back when you
they,
couldn't like get it?
Yeah, they were sold out. So yeah, at that point,
That's a pretty good deal.
yeah.
Do you still think it's a good deal now?
Of course, it's a bottle of beer for a.
I mean, you can
For a
get
gaming
you can get a
price.
Nintendo Switch though.
So the BBTs, my favorite one I've had, I've not had part 3, not had the rye yet. Maybe one day we can get that rye BBT, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe.
But batch 2 is supposed to be the best, and that one was
I heard that
fantastic.
too is pretty good.
Well, usually it's a story of batch 1 was better, right?
I was waiting. To
I
hear
mean,
it. I want to see where he goes with this.
So was I. Actually, I was wondering where I was going.
I should have saved him.
You should have saved him.
So usually you see batch 1's better, but I think in the beer community, BBT batch 2 is probably the best barrel-aged stout with no adjuncts. I think that might be universal.
It's got lace, like someone took a
Oh,
poop
dude,
down
yeah.
my glass.
I got little particles on mine. Do you have that?
I got like diarrhea streaks going down mine.
Yeah, but no, I've got like chunks of shit.
Eh.
They got off
that
for some
was-
reason.
Which one?
The one with
Big
Buddy
Bopper.
Holly and
Buddy Holly.
Big Bopper that died.
Didn't they make a movie of that?
I bet a few.
It's called Down in Flames.
No, it's not.
It's not called that.
I legit didn't know if I was right or not. He's always being smart ass, but it's like, what's it?
It's not worth $240, but it's good.
I think you split it. I think you split it 4 people, 6 people, 5 people. I think it's.
Yeah, when you start
Would
looking
you
at it
pay
like that,
$40
would you
a pour?
pay?
If I knew that it was just going to be in our close group,
Yeah.
then yeah. If I was going to a retail establishment, like a liquor
gonna pay.
store, and they're doing pours of it, I might give like 10.
Well, here's
10,
What
15
if they say
Here's-
it's $30 for that pour?
So if you
Not a
went
retail
to a
store,
chain that used to be here in Lexington,
Like a local retail shop that might do that, you would not do that.
well, but if you went to a chain here in Lexington that used to be here, it's not here anymore. It's got like a cat in the name, maybe. But,
Chain in Lexington.
yeah.
I think we can say it. They're out of business.
Hopcat.
Yeah.
So-
Didn't
so
they
how
go
about-
out of business?
Secrets out.
Or did they just
Hopcat.
close our
Not out of
location?
business altogether, just closed here. But what do you
They
think you
closed a few
pay?
other branches, I think.
What do you think you'd pay for 8 ounces of KBS there?
About $12 or something. 10 or
So
$12.
this is much better than KBS.
Oh
Yeah.
So $25 a pour for 6 ounces. Would you pay it?
It's pretty steep, but the problem here is that you're not going to get it anywhere else.
No.
That's the.
You
So
gotta
when it's going
weigh
to come
that
down, you're going to
brand
go.
back into it.
So I can live without that extra $12. My life's not.
Sure.
And I'll never get this beer again. My life's not over either. But I might as well pay the $25 and
Yeah.
because I'm never going to see this beer. It's just not going to happen.
Then we came and picked him up for brunch.
Oh, that's right. We went to DVA.
DB8, very good.
That's
I haven't
awesome.
been there yet.
What?
I said I haven't been
Oh
there
my
yet.
god. What?
What?
What? Is this gonna be like the Pulp Fiction box? Open it up, like Repo Man, where the
If
glare
I
comes
could
out.
add effects to do it, I would make it glow.
If you can put effects in
We
this,
can do it. Yeah.
yeah, do it like the Repo Man Pulp Fiction thing, where he opens the
Repo
box
Man's awesome.
Well,
And-
you gotta spin it around.
and the light comes out.
No, I mean like, yeah, like, turn it this way.
Pretend like there's light coming
No,
out.
put it, lay it back down. Lay it on it.
Jason
Lay
doesn't
it,
understand how that works.
lay it down. Now turn it 180 degrees. There you go. And that way the flap opens up this way.
Oh, and the cork is out, folks. The cork is out,
Smells
and
awful.
there's been some smell of.
So how much was this bottle?
So this bottle retails probably 180, 175, somewhere through there.
That's not horrible.
No.
For like this.
So it's about $10 a year, right? 17 years old, about $10 a year.
Yeah. And what's usually kind of the going average rate?
I mean, you don't see too many 17-year-old bourbons 100 proof, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's within range for sure.
Yeah.
I think one of the more expensive ones right now you'll see per year is Willet. I mean, if you have a four-year-old bourbon from Willet, you're probably looking, I don't know, $70. I mean,
Yeah.
it keeps going up.
And they're not distilling up, or they are distilling.
No, they distill.
The
Yeah,
4 years
that's
still?
theirs. I think they go up to 6. As
Anything
Willet.
over 6 is probably not them.
Yeah, it's probably going to be MGP. So Indiana. Nice glasses too, by the way.
So these are like Japanese style whiskey glasses rather
Yeah.
than like the really thick ones.
Yeah.
And I tried to follow the
I want
same
to put this on the camera.
the same principle as like the glasses that we're using for beer that you use for wine.
Mm-hmm.
They typically make the glass thinner. I don't know
What's
how.
the proof?
100.
I don't know how much like that it actually like changes or whatever. I'm getting on the camera.
I think the only thing I would say on these, like the glass wise, so the reason they make those rocks glasses with that underneath there is so you don't heat the whiskey up
Yeah.
or the bourbon up. So with this, I mean, if you're gripping it up here, you're all right. But if you're
Yeah.
gripping at the bottom, you're going to
Yeah.
warm it up.
And I don't think you can make a thick base with glass this thin. But
No, there's no
the
way.
principle is that the glass is thinner. The delivery to your palate is a smoother transition. It sounds extremely esoteric, but that's the principle behind it. That's why wine glasses are so thin.
Are you sure you're not a doctor instead of Jeff?
I
It's
know.
got some burn, but it's also got this interesting floral thing going on. You get a floral.
We've not
taste?
tried it yet.
Oh, you haven't tried
We're
it?
just looking at you, waiting on you. Jeff made us wait today, so
I'm sorry, I don't have a 5 p.m. dinner like some people. I'm not going to Sizzler at 5 p.m. Grandma.
We're not very important in Jeff's schedule. I'm
You're
just saying.
extremely important
No,
in
I
his
don't think we
you
are.
know where I went to dinner last night?
Sizzler?
Outback Steakhouse.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why?
My brother-in-law's
Oh.
daughter's birthday. and that's
Did
what
you get
she
the
wanted
blooming
to go.
onions?
We did get a blooming onion.
Did you get a big Foster's
You got to
can?
get a blooming onion.
I almost
the
got
Foster's can?
I almost got a Foster's can, but we had kind of been pre-gaming, so I already had like 4 beers, and I wasn't about to have like another 32
The
ounce.
giant 32 ounce of Foster's. Who wants to
Yeah.
drink 32 ounces of Foster's?
I mean, I would.
I was going
Gross.
to.
That's gross. Does anybody drink Foster's?
Yeah, not as much as they used to, probably. I always liked it because you could buy like a koozie that would fit that big can. I felt very
I
cool.
think you need to cut those nails.
I do. Appreciate that.
They're talking to my son.
So, what do you
don't
think
get
of
this
this one?
floral nature too?
Oh, yeah.
I get a lot of floral and a lot of like apple and
I get a lot of spice in there.
Spice.
Almost some,
it's
almost
really
get like hinted like.
I get a
vanilla.
burn from sipping it. That's good.
I
It's called alcohol.
It's 100 proof. I don't get
alcohol
really
burn?
any burn though. It's not a
I
it's not a
don't.
young bourbon.
I actually don't
No.
get a lot of bourbon.
I
I think
get
it's
a
like
Ton of oak.
Yeah.
I get the standard burn you get from like just.
Well, maybe I
drinking.
understand the standard, man, but I do get some burn. But I do like that floral sense to it. I don't know all the fancy. I don't know all the fancy bourbon words.
I mean, I think I get more spice and floral, but I see what you're saying. I mean, Wild Turkey's got a higher rye bill than most, so Wild Turkey 101. I love that one.
I like the rye one you gave me.
The rye 101.
Yeah.
You get those in liters now. They just sell them for like
That
restaurants.
is so
I guess.
killer.
Yeah, it's a good rye.
Yeah.
It is. But even the base Wild Turkey is a bourbon, but it's a high rye content. So
I think this has a really good balance of sweetness. Like, I usually like bourbons that are a little bit on the sweeter side. This one actually kind of dances that line. I feel like it's
like
not,
Southern Comfort.
What?
It's like Southern Comfort.
no,
That's sweet.
That's not. Yeah,
Well,
that's
it
not
gets
this.
sweet. I mean, I also
That's
like
a blended
apple juice,
whiskey.
but, yeah.
It's like Kool-Aid.
I love Kool-Aid. Are you getting Kool-Aid out of this? Would you say this is Ecto Cooler or?
I think this is more grape. It's
Yeah.
more grape Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
But no, I'm digging this one. I don't think there's a secondary here. I mean, I don't think
no?
this is something
Really?
I'm gonna. No. I think on.
Is it like a big bottle?
So a lot of your Masters Keeps, they don't have a lot of resale value. So if you were to buy this on the resale market, you'd probably be looking at $220, $240.
I guess my question
No, I'm
is-
sorry, $320.
320 from 180.
maybe.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of bottles that's produced?
Honestly, don't know. This one just says
Because wouldn't that also dictate if people really want
it's
to
a
pay
batch
extra?
one.
Yeah. I mean,
You can't-
So you could double the price if you wanted to.
You can't
Yeah,
really.
I mean, roughly.
You can't really find this unless you find some hole in the wall,
Like-
like.
Like, did you buy this on the
bourbon shop
shelf,
that
or did
you
you buy this?
Yeah, so this one actually came from Costco.
Oh wow!
I just
okay.
walked in Costco and.
But they probably didn't have a lot.
There's one.
Yeah, there's one. Okay, so
I think a case of this one's four boxes.
so
I think
maybe
that's
there
a
were
case.
four of these sitting there, and you finally got one
Yeah.
by accident.
Total Wine had them there for a little bit, like a day. So
Yeah, so they'll go fast. People
Yep.
will see it and they'll be like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get that."
You'll see some other boxes though if you're looking for this one, but this one's blue, and it's 17 years bottled in bond. So all the boxes look similar. Might be green, might be maroon, but this is blue.
This is something I think that I would take out if I was looking to press somebody because I would probably pay it. I don't like to pay over $100 for a bourbon or whiskey, but this is good and
It's good.
yeah, this is really good.
I like it. I'd have kind of a tough time swallowing that retail price tag for this, but I mean,
Woodford Reserves are at 100, 120.
if a bourbon's good, like
ones.
I'll happily pay $100 for bourbon if I know that it's really good. But you start getting over 150, and I feel like it's got to be something really special. But I've been burned on a lot of like $200 bottles that kind of piss me off.
I think this is barely worth the price tag, but it's worth it to me. If you're a Wild Turkey fan,
Yeah.
I want
you
to.
This is something I would.
You're a Wild Turkey fan.
I'm a Wild Turkey.
I would definitely go into a retail establishment and get a pour of this,
Yeah.
whatever it is, just to try it.
Yeah.
$20 or something like that. That's
probably-
fine.
yeah.
This is probably a $20, $30
Probably 30.
Probably $30 pour.
Yeah. But like, what'd you say?
180
I
ish.
still think it's got this
180-ish. That's
really,
a
there's
little
something a
high.
little unique in that. When it goes down, I get this really unique, like I haven't had that before, almost floral taste that I really like a lot, actually. There's something, or maybe it's a caramelly kind of floral taste. There's something a little different in the finish.
You need to watch it when you leave to make sure you go home with that bottle.
Yeah, Jeff's gonna eye.
Because
it.
somebody might take it out from
Oh, I see
under you.
what's up.
You think I'm going to steal your bottle?
You might try.
I don't think so.
I want to see this happen now.
I cannot imagine me stealing anybody's bottles of anything. Unless it's like Bud
happened
Rita,
Margarita.
pomegranate, and molasses. That one I would steal. That's a good one. You ever had that? It's not sweet. I know it sounds sweet, but it's not.
Is it thick?
It's thick.
How many C's?
It's about 5 IBUs.
5 IB. How many C's though on the thick?
C's? What do you mean?
Thick.
Like
THICCCC.
Oh, I see. So you write out the word thick with a lot of C's. That's pretty clever.
How many you think you got in there?
10.
But if you look at this based on Wild Turkey probably, I can't remember when they stopped doing the age statement, but Wild Turkey used to be 8 years 101 proof, and you're looking at the price on that off the shelf for $15, $20 tops when it was age stated. So, if you look at this compared to that, it's not worth it.
I haven't had a ton of Wild Turkey. This is the smoothest one I've ever had.
Yeah,
But
it's
like
a
most
chicken, right?
well, most of the Wild Turkey I've had has all been
It's
like
101.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Wild Turkey it's pretty good. I mean, for the value.
Oh, for the value, there's not much better on the shelf. I mean, in my opinion.
I feel like this is really indulgent. Having this beer and this bourbon side by side, it's total indulgence.
So,
that, you say that, I'm assuming you mean that in a good way.
Oh yeah, very much. I mean, you have this really incredible, rich, lovely beer. This beer is really incredible. And then you have this really nice, caramelly floral kind of thing, cinnamon thing going on over here too. Side by side, it's like, wow, where's the porn? I mean, we're indulging in a lot of shit. Where's the porn and the ice cream? Because this is like total indulgence.
Are you mad?
it should complement this. I'm looking back at the mash bill or the makeup of this one, the Barrel-Aged Ambiente. 60% of this is Derivation 3, which is aged in Willet rye barrels.
Okay.
And it's been aged for 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of rye.
So this beer is a blend that includes very similar.
We got some rye going on.
So it's 3 different beers, barrel aged in different barrels that made that blend. And 60% of it came from rye. Yeah, exactly. Like the anniversaries used to have all this stuff.
Firestone Walker used to be like the blender for big beers.
I still like Firestone.
Oh, I love
Are you
Firestone
saying they're
Walker.
like crap now?
No, I'm saying they were like one of the OGs in blending styles.
I think they did fall off a touch when they went to 12-ounce format.
I love Firestone Walker. I wish we got them here in Kentucky. By the way, Firestone Walker, you can distribute to Kentucky. We won't object.
Nobody wants to distribute to Kentucky.
They should.
Yeah, but nobody wants
People do, and then they realize they're not selling any beer, and they stop distributing.
That's a good reason to not distribute to Kentucky.
It's like every now and then it's like, oh, I got a new beer in the market, and then 2 months later, what happened to that fucking beer we used to get?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
So Sakaba is the barley wine. What's the stout? Not D-Star, is it? What? No, it's Revolution. What's Firestone? Parabola.
Probably, yeah.
That one was a big letdown and went 12-ounce format. I remember Jordan had never had it, and I bought a bottle in Chicago, brought it back,
I still
and
got
it
some
was
of this.
not.
I still got some anniversary and stuff,
those are great.
and stuff like this in my cellar.
Yep.
Maybe some Parabola. I can't back them up.
Oh, you're talking about like the blends?
The anniversaries are blends, right?
Yeah.
So, and I love them.
They had the paper in there, tell you what percentages they did of each one.
See, I love those because they were all so unique.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't go in thinking it was a standard style of beer. Like, you didn't expect this. Like, it could be not going to be sour, It's going to be more old ale, barley wine, or something like that. Usually really sweet, but yeah, they were all like very unique.
They were throwing some
still
brown
a Firestone
ale.
Walker fan.
Yeah, I think overall.
Stop talking shit about Firestone
Even
Walker.
the IPAs are great. I mean, they're just nice IPAs. But.
When you get them fresh. Man.
Oh, yeah. But the problem is they put them in those boxes, like Surly, where you can't see the dates, so you don't know what you're buying, Because, what I'm talking about? When the beer, like Top and Goliath, too, they put them in a box. Boxes are the worst things.
Well, the box is dated by Top and Glass.
Theirs might be dated, but I think some of the other ones, I know Surly.
I don't think Three Floyds is dated.
But they do zombie in a box for cans.
I don't think it's dated.
So they're on the outside. A lot of people don't date the boxes on the outside.
That's probably why.
Because they don't want you to fucking know.
Yeah, I like the two together.
You've just finished part 1 of a 2-part show. Be sure to tune in to part 2.